Hello, welcome to another briefing. So in this briefing, I am just going to start out as usual with the satellite imagery, see what we got going on here in the Northeast Pacific, west coast of the United States. You see basically this big blocking high pressure center aloft, count clockwise flow. Pardon, in northern hemisphere, these things have clockwise flow and yeah, big dry. Just want to finish doing these wind things. Big dry air mass, a lot of sinking air, very few clouds, and just warming progressively day after day in a lot of areas of California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona. Particularly California and Nevada are going to see a lot of heat this week, and that's what I'm going to focus on since I'm based in the Bay Area here in California, where we'll be largely affected by this. There's been a lot of rain in parts of Hawaii the last few days, just a constant stream of moisture here with this semi stationary pattern. Um, Very slow moving, very sort of stagnant pattern. Not stagnant completely, but they're just very slow moving, which is leading to a lot of rain in Hawaii, a lot of rain in the Pacific Northwest, and very dry, warm conditions over places like California, and that is supposed to even intensify over the next few days. So we go here and we look at the reanalysis of 500 millibar heights here, um, and we can see here. This is, let's go back for the last 48 hours here. You can see this ridge of high pressure sort of reestablishing itself. There was a little, very weak shortwave trough that came through Friday, Saturday, but that ejected pretty quickly into the Rockies, into the Central Plains. Meanwhile, here we have this big ridge establishing itself. And as we put the projection for the GFS model into motion for the next few days here, you see Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you see this thing really become really established over the west coast of the United States here. 588 decameter high for mid-March. That's very strong. And it's going to be accompanied by very high temperatures as well. We're going to go ahead now and look at the National Blend of Models temperature forecast for the Bay Area. I'll try to remember to zoom out to California as well, but starting just zoomed in with the Bay Area here, we have widespread 80s and even some 90s showing up on Monday for the warmest inland spots. But I mean, you have potentially on this model blend, you have 77 in Half Moon Bay, 80 in Oakland. I mean, it was already 81 at my place in South Marin today, Sunday. So tomorrow, I'm thinking maybe even mid 80s. I think these numbers could even be a little bit underdone. Which we should see. Um, and looking at Tuesday and Wednesday, I mean, Tuesday looks like maybe the warmest day of all. You have potentially 84 for Oakland, potentially 80 for Half Moon Bay, right at the water. You have potentially 90s in San Jose, 90 for Livermore, 90 for Santa Rosa here, 91 Sacramento. Very, very hot air, especially for the middle of March. This is going to be way, way above average. Let's take a quick look at the low temperatures for some of these days here. I mean, Thursday and Friday, it's really not that much cooling above if you get away from the flat areas near the ocean. You're seeing numbers well into the 60s and maybe even 70s in some of these hills, not really cooling off much overnight. If you are closer to the ocean and you're in a low-lying flat area, you likely cool into the 50s, although if you get offshore wind all night, warm air compressing, moving down the mountains, you might actually stay pretty warm. Like over here, there's a Muir Beach, Stinson Beach area, and this model projection looks pretty warm for Friday morning. But generally, if you're a low-lying area and if you're near the coast, if you're wind sheltered, you will still get into the 50s. It is March after all, so you would expect to at least get down into the low 50s for the more wind sheltered areas. But very intense heat, very unseasonable, anomalous heat for sure expected this week. Let's just go out to the wide view of California because I said I would do that. So here's Monday. You're looking at widespread 80s, 90s. LA will be in the 90s. You're looking at 100 for the Palm Springs area. They're looking Tuesday, Wednesday. It could be 100. Look at Friday, actually. Thursday and Friday could be even hotter for Southern California. Parts of LA could be around 100. Palm Springs could be 111 degrees. For you to have an idea, the average high temperature there in July and August is around 108. So this would be slightly above average even in the middle of the summer. And we're in March. This is for March, this is 30 to 40 degrees above average. This is very, very hot. This just tells you how strong this high pressure center is, because this is very hot for mid-March. And let's look at the lows real quick. I mean, flat, low-lying areas will maybe get into the 50s most nights, but a lot of the areas in the mountains and further inland in the deserts not getting out of the 70s. Maybe even some areas hovering around 80 at night. It looks like that's certainly possible here as we go into this week in some high elevation areas, most likely. I mean, if this were June or August or September even, maybe it wouldn't be as shocking because these heat waves do happen frequently that time of year, but not in March. This is very anomalous for March, to say the least. Anyways, that's all I have for now. I don't want to make this video too long. I could go way more into the weeds, but I'm just gonna keep it here and stay safe, stay hydrated. Maybe I'll do another update in a few days, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.